All right, everyone, we're recording a promo for Pro Teaches Noobs. Oh, what's a noob?
Hey, you know who else is a noob? My mom!
All right, everyone, just forget it, okay?
Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noobs. Have with me, Pika.
Hi.
And because I met the writer, Jim Krueger, at Motor City Comic Con, I've decided, you know what? Since Pika and I went over Kingdom Come, let's go over the Marvel equivalent, Earth X. But here's the thing. It's a whole trilogy. But yeah, all of this came about because originally Alex Ross had no interest in doing it, something for Marvel. But then Wizard asked him, well, come on, at least give us some ideas for what you have for characters. And once the ball guys started going, he just couldn't stop.
Oh.
Now, get this. There's a lot of stuff that was introduced here that Marvel would later follow up on, like Thor being turned into a girl.
Being turned and not being taken over by...
Yeah, and get this. This is Hulk. Hulk and Banner have split, and Bruce has been reduced to a child. And Hulk is like this gorilla.
Huh. Good enough.
We eventually get an answer. We eventually get an answer to that in Marvel's X, to how it happened. Which we'll go over. I was originally going to do Marvel's X first, but then Krueger said no. You should do Earth X first, then Marvel's X, then Universe X, and then Paradise X.
Oh.
Yeah. Mostly because Marvel's X will also give a lot of spoilers, and also you lose a lot of context.
Uh-huh.
So I figured, why not? So yeah. Have you ever heard about this?
I think I have gone through some alternative versions of the characters in Marvel Wiki database and come across some of the Earth X among the list.
Yep. And also this will have featured the artwork of the late but ever great John Paul Leon. So yeah, let's get started with... Now here's the thing. This is now going to be 12 issues long, but you're going to also have a 0 issue, a half issue, and an epilogue.
Oh.
And the sketchbook.
Uh-huh.
My father always said the human mind was just... I want to get that way to make it. So yeah, we don't know how long it's going to take for us to... How many episodes it's going to take for us to get through. We're playing this by ear. You okay?
Yeah, no, it's...
You sound like you're going to be bored.
Not bored. That's what other word could I describe it? Somewhat passively trying to psych myself to get through this until I reach the hook moment.
Which it should be quick, actually. There is a lot of hook moments in this. It's just going to be very wordy going to the history side.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, my father always said the human mind was like a doorway. It just required a key to be opened. And then he warned me that unlike minds, doorways could never be changed. I suppose that's why he was a genius. He always said things that didn't make sense, but sounded like they did. My father's name was Abel Stack. He was a self-made man. I think that's the expression. I owe him everything. My name is Aaron. Aaron Stack. He taught me how to be a man, how to walk like a man, how to sleep like a man, how to accept my imperfections like he did, like all people have to. He was insomniac. He almost never slept. I remember every night he lived in this house. I remember the creak of the medicine cabinet opening and closing, the toilet flush soon after, and then the fitful stagger of his walk back to his bed. Those who knew him say we're exactly alike. I have his face, his manners, his expressions, everything except his eyes. I don't have my father's eyes. Oh, now here's a nice nod, because what book was Aaron introduced in? What does this look like?
Great big
No. A monolith. 2001. That was the ongoing book was when he was introduced in. So this is a nod to it.
Oh.
So see, these guys are pretty clever.
Oh. Now that you brought it up, then it's
Yeah, it's the monolith. Well, a monolith. I told you before, I will not seek destiny. It shall find me. And so it has at long last. Why would you say that? I don't understand. You were there after I was born, after father died. You keep coming back. Why? Don't call me X51. My name is Aaron. What do you mean, my purpose? Of course, I do anything to know all of humanity, all its struggles and successes, all its meekness and strength. I was created to reflect it, but would I like to know humanity's destiny? What kind of question is that? How can I know? How can any man know? I asked you a question. What? And what did that look like?
Yup, the end of 2001.
My hands. What have you done to my hands? What have you done to me? I want to go back. How could you do this to me? Give it back. Why? It was all I had. Please, give me back my face. In time and in fear of despair, I moved on to the black, lifeless world upon which I had been abandoned. There was no sign of water, no suggestion of vegetation, no semblance of civilization. Where on earth am I? This place was formless and empty. And then there was light, a terrible light. And it was after me. Help me! Oh my God. I wasn't on Earth at all. I cursed myself for being so easily frightened, and then felt a strange sense of relief that I still could be. Whatever had changed me, whatever it was that brought me to the moon, hadn't undone all my father's work. I set off for what I could only believe was a house of some sort, perhaps the dwelling place of the man on the moon. Soon, signs of life began to show himself. Or maybe just signs of what was once life. I find myself speculating on the origin of this place. I felt like father. How did it come to be here? Who made it? Why was it here? Maybe there were still people here watching over my planet. But why would anyone do that when they could be on Earth? Now you should be wondering who's missing so far that should be here. Who would be watching?
What's that?
The Watu. Great civilization stood here once. I wonder what they were like. Also, the Inhumans. Remember, they live on the moon.
Yes.
I wonder what they were like. Maybe a war was fought here. And that's what killed everything. Was there love here? Was there hope? Or are such things alien to the beings who built this place? Jameis said. Father said there was no meaning to life except in the purpose and utility infused in by its creator. Was this mine? No one else could have walked across the moon without air. No one else was made of enough metal to deal with the nominal gravity of its surface. I suppose Father was right. Doorways can't be changed. I thought of calling out, of crying after whoever or whatever lived here. But I didn't know what they or it would be like. Had I come here only to die? Was that the destiny promised me? Was that the only aspect of humanity I had not yet experienced? I was afraid to speak, to utter anything. Perhaps these walls had ears. They had more than that. Hello, X51. I am pleased you have come at last. Who are you? I am Uwatu. I am the Watcher. I can't see you very well. Are you the one who brought me here? Yes, X51. Aaron, there is no time for that. I call you as you are, X51. It's Aaron! Aaron Stack, okay? All is ready. Everything has been prepared for you. You did this to me. Why? What have you done? Something wonderful. Let's make sure my thing didn't get all garbled. Hold on. Hello? Do you still hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure I didn't knock my mic.
Mm-hmm.
Our role is to catalog and survey all that is unseen until it becomes yesterday. There's nothing that occurs on Earth that is hidden. We must prepare for the... What do you mean by our role? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start at the beginning. The beginning? The beginning of what? Where are you? I was there when it all began. I was present when the light that first shone upon the waters fled before a second shadow, a shadow from the stars. I was witness to the first host of celestials, X51, there to see the Earth remade in their own image. The celestials? You okay?
Yeah.
I was hearing noises from you. Sorry. I want to make sure you're okay. Do not bother to understand them. Understand instead what they began. This remaking killed most of the indigenous creatures, including the beast known as dinosaurs. Today, most on Earth believe a meteor roughly the size of the moon struck the Earth, where I given to human irony, amazing, so real. But why did this happen? Why was blasting away a part of the Earth necessary? Why kill all the dinosaurs? Consider it a gift for you and I, X51. All an important part of the plan. The sky needed an eye, you see. But why? What are you watching for? I was there to hear the first cautionary cries of man, X51. There to watch his just opening eyes grow wide. His first failed steps, his fumbled fall. I was there to watch him learn fear, the fear of God. God? It's as big as the sky. Mankind was about to meet the beings that would one day be his maker. It's breathtaking. Breathtaking, X51? Is that how you would choose to describe the Celestials? We had hoped for something different, and we had hoped for something different. What's wrong? No, sorry. What's wrong with breathtaking? We had hoped for something different. The Celestials took the raw life forms known as man and molded that clay with their hand. What's happening? What are they doing to them? The first race was a failure. The deviants, as they came to be called, were designed with too much aggression. So, okay, I can skip this part. This is where we get these deviants and the Eternals. So, the Eternals settled upon the mountaintops. The humans who lived below them, they were gods. Circe, Icarus, Mercury, Zurus. And these would become your oldest. Excuse me, X51. Humanity's earliest myth. Mankind itself developed at its own pace. Some made their ways to the mountaintops, seeking enlightenment to questions they would never find answers for. They returned with stories of angels and miracles. Some sought answers elsewhere and returned with the taint and scars of devils. The deviants had hidden their unstable forms below the valleys, enslaving all of them foolish enough to trust themselves. I don't get this. Are you telling me that all myth and faith come from the ignorant perception of the Eternals and the deviants? But I met Thor. Did he purposely mislead me into thinking he was one of the Norse gods? Listen to me, X51. The Celestials were not the only life forms from the stars to manipulate mankind or come to Earth. The Kree, an alien nation, had been locked in a costly war with a shape-shifting race called Skrulls. Attempted to create an army of super beings to fight in their stead. I think your mic is really catching a lot of your sounds more than usual, dude. Because I'm really hearing a lot of the noises more than usual. You don't have to mute. I'm just simply pointing that out.
Okay, I'm putting it a little lower decibel volume catching.
Yeah, because I'm hearing like the bottle and everything. Yep. Now we got about the Inhumans, the birth of the Inhuman. But the history of Earth tells nothing of these nations. How can this be so important to mankind's destiny? Yet you've yet to show anything that to do with humanity. Not really. I am the history and watcher of Earth, X51. Mankind is not its center. Their purpose does not even begin to manifest itself until just prior to the fourth host. Fourth host? But you mentioned only one. 25,000 years ago, mankind was enslaved by the deviant. The humans of this period in humanity has been lost to save and to all save myself. Mankind would have perished. The Celestials could not allow this. So the second host came to wipe the deviant aspiration from the face of the earth. The destruction and scattering of the deviant empire would be felt throughout the world, in one place in particular, Atlantis! And so unfortunately, in trying to stop the deviant city of Lumaria, it caused caused Atlantis to sink.
Mm-hmm.
But that's terrible. Celestials created the deviants, and then because of them, killed so many people. Innocent people had nothing to do with the deviants. What is innocence? Why do you show me this? These Celestials are evil. Don't be so dramatic, X51. After all, what is evil? My father never told me. He died before he could. Then let me tell you what evil is. Evil is an invention, a human invention that attempts to explain what is beyond human understanding. Good is a blanket concept, X51. It covers up fear, of exposure, of consequences, of death. That is why human history brims with the sacrifice of innocence for the sake of good. For all of in time, humanity has prostrated itself in the imagined altar of good and evil. For all those it thought to be gods. 1,000 years ago, the third host came to Earth to inspect the progress of the human ways for the sake of all who would claim that humanity. The third host would appear before the various alien beings animated by myth, from Odin of Asgard to Zeus of Olympus. The result was an agreement that the Celestials, as well as those beings who consider themselves or were considered gods, would not interfere in the affairs of humanity. How could they know that the seed had already been planted within human DNA? How could the gods know that all humanity, if left alone and to their own devices, would one day grow beyond even these immortal beings, grow beyond the Eternals, beyond the deviants? You mean the Celestials tricked them? Tricked. You must stop defining what you see in human expressions. Human expression is incapable of putting into language what I have seen. For each man that rises out of the mud, there are some who will protect him, just as there are others who would threaten his life. I have watched whole nations rise and fall, X51. Heroes are born and die. Their deeds become legend only to be forgotten. That's terrible. How do you sleep at night? We do not sleep, X51. We do not pretend to either. Watchers shed no tears for fallen heroes. There will always be others in time. But what about all man's progress? What about his technological advances? What about me? My father always said, do you still fail to see the obvious, X51? Mankind, this race you cling to, is temporal, a phantom flesh that does not yet know it is obsolete. I said this already, X51. There is no good. There is no evil. There is only change, only life and death, and the struggle to survive. The struggle creates heroes, but there is no valor necessity, X51. Then there's no purpose. You've lured me here under false pretense. What about mankind's destiny? You promised. So I have. It would not be until your so-called 20th century that the seeds which lay dormant within humanity began to germinate. It would not be till then that man, the created and recreated being, at last said, let there be life. Gentlemen, I present before you an android of my own creation. Android? Like me. The Human Torch, in other words. War has always been developmental of your species, X51. Peace has always been the enemy of progress. World War II was the greatest war your world had ever faced. It sparked humanity's greatest advancements thus far. It germinated the celestial seed, X51. The germination meant itself in many forms. In the Human Torch, the form was artificial and synthetic, but still, in its essence, life. As Captain America, a frail man was given the drug which advanced him beyond normal human attributes and abilities. Who's the boy? James Barnes, Bucky, Captain America's partner. He died, but that is not important. Why do you say not important? It's Namor the Submariner. Human mutation actually occurred through natural and environmental means. In this case, it was a result of crossbreeding between a human and another race which thrived below the waters. A race which descended from the sunken continent of Atlantis. Atlantis? Yes. The evil committed by the Celestials became the ancestry of one of the world's greatest heroes. A hero who might not have changed the tide of war had he not been born out of that earlier tragedy. Namor and his allies saved millions, X51. The world was not yet ready for a master race. Not ready? There was a man, a small, ugly man named Adolf Hitler. World War II was the result of his actions. Together with officers like the Red Skull, he chose to rule instead of serve. In secret, they tried to create a master race through manipulation and genetics. They trifled with beings, swore not to meddle in human affairs. destroyed all those deemed inferior by their standards. Of course, we get summary a bit more about all that. But through the bomb dropping, we then get monsters.
Mm-hmm.
The Homo sapiens have become an endangered species, from themselves or from the Celestials. Mankind was never meant to exist forever. X-51. The meek could never, how do you put it, inherit the earth. Survival necessitates change. The high school student, basically we didn't find out about all the heroes. Everything was done in reaction.
I was also trying to go there. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Hulk, Daredevil.
Yep, in fact, and in each of these, many others, the seed planted by the Celestial those many years ago at last bore fruit. This era saw the return of the Submariner, who had been a wandering as a vagrant since the end of World War II. His return was not as an ally to humanity as he had fought before. My home destroyed. The surface dwellers will face destruction. Why are you showing me so much about Namor? There are so many other heroes. He is the pendulum that swings between the polarities of deviant and eternal. X-51. He was the first born directly of the seed. His is the second face of man. Namor struck at humanity whenever he found it, from the concrete high-rise of New York City to the frozen wasteland of the Arctic. That man is the ice. The ice. It's Captain America. Captain America. So basically, we get more of the summary about everything. But as they're going on, they're basically implying this cosmic seed that the Celestials placed was the cause of everything. Basically trying to say the Celestials are responsible for every superpower.
I'm trying to look at this in comparison to Kingdom Come, and I'm trying to think about this as the whole Spectre and Pastor McCoy in how they went around trying to understand everything.
But it's because Marvel has so much more in-depth history that are disjointed.
Yeah, that's probably the price of their 4 times slowed down time scale.
Plus, this backstory is important for what comes. Unlike, not much of the past was needed for Kingdom Come. Here, it's essential. So yeah, we get stuff. We do show off. I can breeze through a bit of this, just a little bit. We give it the mutant, and it turns out, the mutant gene was a result of the Celestial seed. So again, all of this. But yeah, so we see the Inhumans are there. We see, mankind began to produce its own deviant. When the fourth host arrived on Earth, all progressed as planned. Often, I have been moved by the nobility and bravery of Earth's heroes, X-51. But we must not lose sight on why we are here. I don't understand. Why are we and why they are hated for being good? They are hated because they have no what others do not: power, distinction, purpose. And so they are hunted and hounded, often out of nothing more than the need within humanity to worship something. Mankind resents its need for authority. They wish to be their own authority, X-51. They would be gods themselves. The heroes are hated because they threaten the very existence of the people they feel compelled to protect. Which brings us to you, X-51. What do you mean? I'm not flesh and blood. There isn't a dormant seed to be awakened inside me. Because that's basically what they're saying. Everyone has a dormant seed that triggers in some way, shape, or form. The dormant seed is what allowed Bruce to survive the gamma radiation, for example.
It's like the thing in Dead Island 2.
Yeah, there must be a watcher. And what is about to happen must be cataloged. Yeah, okay, but I still don't get it. You're the watcher. I'm not. I'm blind, X-51. How could you be blind? I was caught unaware. But how could that be? You see everything. How could you be surprised by anything? I saw all that transpired on Earth, X-51. That is all. My attacker was from somewhere else. You must become the Watcher now, X-51. Me? You want me to catalog the rest of history? Capacity to hold information is almost limitless, X-51. Anyone else would have been driven to madness. Come, there's much to see. I have missed so much these past years. You must tell me all that is happening. Those seeds are within everybody, right? You're very perceptive, X-51. We have chosen well. The seeds planted within humanity have already begun to transform the population of the planet. The destiny of mankind was determined long ago. It was all just a matter of time. So, what do you think about this start so far?
Well, suppose the history lesson was necessary enough.
Mm-hmm.
And in boss it just telling something that someone would already know, something that someone wouldn't know.
And then they had to rework in the history as well to make it be essential for the Celestials.
And then bring up the whole thing that everyone is basically carrying their own version of the...
I would say the metagene.
Yeah, well,
from
the
DC.
metagene is basically like something of a... Not exactly the same ticking time bomb as it is in Dead Island Zoo, but more of a...
Oh, yeah. Hold on, let me bring it back up. Well, you bring up Dead Island, just think about how it's a zombie plague still.
Yeah, it's a zombie plague that is essentially something that triggers in the human genome or something at one point. That's the whole backstory they made up for the sequel.
So basically, anyone could be a zombie at any point in history?
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lick of sense.
No, but it's what that game tried to make up.
That's
Another
stupid.
thing would be the SCP-5000, but that would be a bigger can of worms to explain.
I'm about to say, no, that's stupid. I hate to say it. That is stupid.
Well, the whole game was worked out so much that it's basically like a great example of too many cooks in the kitchen.
I bet. But yeah, this also tells you the big difference between having someone like Jim Krueger and Kurt Busiek.
Mm-hmm.
Could you agree to that too?
Yeah.
Also, not having the knowing you're writing for his speed, his lack of speedness of Alex Ross, where you would keep it smaller.
Good.
Watcher? No, X-51. You are the Watcher now. Is that why you took my face? This is the purpose for which I brought you here. To the moon, yes. Why are you so distressed that you have been transformed? You were never blood and flesh, but wires and rivets and piston and... God, it was my face! It was all I had! The face of all mankind has changed, X-51. Would you now emulate a race that no longer exists? Would you choose to be a ghost? A ghost in a... No, Uatu, I only... Good. This is your home now. You must know what transpires upon the earth. I am blind without you. Tell me, X-51. Tell me what you see. Wow, did they make Uatu an ass? Haven't they?
Yeah.
They made him a complete another asshole.
And kind of passively also like doing something just for the sake of it instead of like... Could have probably gotten some sympathy if he was attacked and blinded.
Well, he was.
Okay. Well, he was attacked and he was blinded. So if he would have come across more desperate in needing someone to replace him, that would have probably gotten him some sympathy instead of just...
But then he's screwing Aaron over.
Yeah, screwing him over as if it's nothing, rather than that because it has come to this, I won't be in this, won't be able to do this. Someone else needs to continue my work.
But make you also question, why did he help humanity? Why did he help the Four?
Yeah, include that to the long list of things.
Well, they did show it. They did show it earlier when he said, "You've heard of." No, I gave it to him. I knew Galactus would retreat before its power. You heard of Galactus before this? I'd seen him before. Yes. But yeah, they skipped up. They didn't just keep moving on. So my guess is he stopped it because he knew Galactus would destroy the Earth. So in other words, they're trying to say it had nothing to do with him caring about the Earthlings. I don't know how to feel about that either. Excuse me. I see waves of stars, and they're burning. I hear glass breaking. No, voices, hundreds of them. Now, I will also say this, the fact that you need that 0 issue before they're going into issue 1 can get a little annoying.
Yeah. As long as we could get to some point in eventually where where the scene goes on naturally without too much narration.
Now, to be fair, though, the 0 issue, this was still at the peak of 0 issues. Let me double check when did Earth X actually been released. Earth X. No, not the DC Earth. 1999.
Yeah. Not okay. Not.
By the way, you do know Earth X Spider-Man actually appeared in Across the Spider-Verse? You knew that?
I think it was one. Yeah, maybe I'm trying to remember which one of them it was.
Yeah, he makes a cameo as part of it.
Well, that makes sense.
Yep. Hold on, I gotta check this quick. This was news to me. Okay, you can barely see it. It's a blink and you'll miss it. Yeah, just blink and you'll miss it. All right, but yeah, so we get back to the summary about everything with Cap and everything. Again, this is summarizing stuff, but we find out eventually, much had changed. Yeah, and it's like when asked to become president of the United States, he declined. His conviction, he said, was that he could only represent the American dream and not a specific generation of citizens. I remember when this happened. A lot of people were really upset. They never forgot X-51. But his answers was too pat, too simple. Roger had lost the ability to be a representative of his own people. His country was no longer the land where all men were created equal. Oh, Captain America, in his very existence, had changed that. But why was the flag burning? You said the man who was Captain America. What happened? Turn your eyes from the past to the present, X-51. I see a ship. It's landing on Earth. It's markings. I've seen them before. The Inhumans. So the Silent King has returned at last. It's not going to work. No, now we're getting more on the present stuff. Oh, and look at Black Bolt. It looks like Black Racer a little.
Yeah, with that's supposed to be kind of a muzzle.
Yeah. But now we are finally getting the present day stuff. So now the plot is finally moving. And no one will believe that after 20 years we're going to show up and only you look for weakness in everything, Karnak. There is no reason for anyone to be suspicious. Should we be asked the reason we have returned, it's for the royal wedding of Luna and our son. We are home at last. Oh, but Attilian, look at what's become of our home. This is the hidden land? No, it cannot. No, of course it is. Where is the prince? Where is everybody? Don't you remember, Luna? No. Oh, this is Quicksilver and Crystal's daughter, Luna.
Huh?
No one lives here anymore. Karnak's right. We should have expected this. It was Black Bolt's idea in the first place, too. Do not speak with that tone when referring to our king, Triton. His decrees are perfect. His wisdom without compare. The queen's words are his. My son, he would be considered a hero here. Yeah, I will say this. I always feel that, like, I don't know if they've ever done it, but I always feel like a missed opportunity to have it be having Medusa lie. You know what I mean? Because he always said, like, I know what he's saying. Now, granted, that would be stupid and that would be cruel on her part. I'm just saying that's a waste opportunity no one seems to ever tapped into. And again, no, Bolt would probably be like glaring at her or something.
Yeah.
That's probably the explanation, because he could just as easily say, like, shake his head. By the way, dude, you know, I realized something else. As soon as the scans are available, you know what should be our next video? Again, another one that be following up on what you've done. We got to do these.
Okay.
But only once the Batman Deadpool gets its one.
Okay.
Anyway, we must go to New York City. There is a problem. I told you this would be far more difficult than you imagine. Look at them all. However, we're going to find our people when... Quiet, Triton. Not in front of Luna. I think that was Thor. Maybe he can. When do we meet the prince? We will see him soon, Luna. But first, we need to discover what has happened to all humans who once lived here. I do not understand, Uatu. The Inhumans, Thor, Daredevil. I thought you wanted to know what happened to Captain America. He is here as well, X-51. But everything bears watching. Nothing can go unseen. Be careful, Red Wing. We can still save them. Who says they're still alive? If there's even a chance, we can't risk it. We don't have much time left, Cap. We've got to hit them hard and fast. And you know what Stark said? There's a way, and there's a way. There always is. These are people we care about, Red Wing. They're controlled by, hell, it's you. I've missed you, Wyatt. I've missed your touch. Jennifer's the Madam Hydra. I've missed your touch. And that's Wyatt, her lover, Wyatt. Your touch. We were so close once. We could be together again, always. Please stop fighting. You may speak with her voice, but you are not Jennifer. Do you hear me, you crazy Hydra Queen? You aren't her! Cap, I could really use your help right now. I'm on my way, Red Wing. I'm not about to lose another partner. Falcon, Sam, not you too. Don't fight it, Steve. Join Hydra. It's for your own good. It's better this way, Steve. To be part of Hydra is like being in paradise. You won't have to fight anymore. There's no more pain, no more anger, no more tears. No, I won't quit. I don't have a choice. It's not quitting, Steve. It's letting go. You've heard propaganda before, Cap. Don't listen to these freaks. Listen to me, soldier. The squids, and you can only immobilize if you, and they can only immobilize you. It can't take hold of you unless you let it, unless you're willing to become one of them. He's my friend, Wyatt. People want to be a part of something, Steve. Something bigger than their lives. That's why so many have joined their ranks. And you'll thank us for this after you've joined us, boy. You put up quite a fight, but quit your struggle and keep your mouth shut this time. And let the boy go free. He doesn't want to join you. Says who? Chimp! I don't want to join you either. Let him go. Are you okay? What's your name? A fire breather. Was that how you felt, Charles, when I first looked you in the eye? I miss you, teacher. Nothing's the same anymore. And notice, he looks very similar, like age-wise, to Xavier. I like that. If anyone is meant to be the Charles of take over for him, at least here in the 90s, it would have been Cyclops. Yeah, nowadays, I don't know who. Wolverine?
Yeah, I'm not too much of a noob in that sense because I haven't read any of the recent stuff. Tried to at some point, but
yep. I can't get used to this equipment to watch you. I'm somewhere else again. I think it's still in New York. What do you think, Parker? Do you get involved? Do you save some poor schmuck from the big bad Hydra? Does it matter? Who am I kidding? Of course it doesn't. What do I have to offer? A world where everyone's got superpowers? Yep, this is where we're starting to set up that almost everyone has powers. To be a non-power is to be unique.
Huh.
Yeah. Also, I will make this and also state up that we'll be giving some heavy-handedness on how some people like Alex Ross view Spider-Man. Not here, but eventually. Oh, give me a moment. I just realized I have a video starting. Just a second. If you want, you can talk for a bit. Give your thoughts on some of like what you think so far and how it relates
Well,
to.
looking like this, Peter looks like he grew up to look like Uncle Ben.
Yep. And there's Luke Cage, who looks a bit more Shaft-like, doesn't he?
Yeah. I was trying to think, is that Luke Cage or someone else who would fit the description?
Yep, it's definitely Luke Cage.
Okay, the chains are pretty much what should give it away.
Yep, but yeah, the fact that he again, but he does look actually no, he doesn't look like Shaft. He looks like what's his name from Mission Impossible. He played
Ving
Coach.
Rhames.
Ving Rhames. He looks like Ving Rhames, doesn't he?
With a better posture, maybe.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Ving Rhames
most people are still. I think most of them are still kind of like a strong hunch looking back in, but Luke Cage is still stand-ups. They're straight and
I know. I mean, like the mustache and everything. Maybe
mustache is also
the bald head and mustache. I mean, it kind of again looks a little like it.
Yeah, kind of looking like is that still Peter in the lower panel as Spider-Man?
I'll explain who that is. I will explain who that is.
Okay, because that's not Peter. Because looking at the 2 panels or 3 or 4 panels showing the physique he is in, he clearly is
retired.
Yeah, retired. Has a buffer face and clearly is not as physically active in.
Definitely not. He has not been involved in the hero game in a long, long time. I'll be right back.
Heikko se, että
Okay, I'm back. But anyway, so Parker, Peter Parker, hey Peter Parker, who's gonna shout "Save me, save me" when everyone can save themselves? Peter Parker, Spider-Man, who's calling me? Oh, it's you. Sorry, Sergeant Cage. I'm just not used to having people call me Spider-Man anymore, in or out of costume. I don't have time to make this pretty, Parker. We're minutes away from a purge. The thing is, I could use someone like you on the force. Someone who knows how to use his power. Someone who believes in, sorry, mister, not interested. That's your job. It's not your responsibility, Steve. You don't have to carry the world on your shoulders. You'll see that once you're part of Hydra. Don't listen to him, Cap. They're alien parasites. They're the enemy. Think of what they've done. Remember who you are. Steve, what use is war if peace is an impossibility? and shut your ears, Cap. They don't want you and you. They just want a super soldier body in their ranks. Ah! And hold on, Cap. This may be your last chance, Steve. Join us. I'm not sure I'm ready. Of course you are, Steve. This is the moment you've been fighting for your entire life. This is peace. Why now of all times? I don't understand. What's going on, Steve? I thought you were going to save me. And defeat one and another takes its place. I can't. You're losing me, Cap. The war has and the war ends, Steve. It really ends. Don't let what the Falcon said get to you, Cap. We're standing in the middle of one of Stark's purges. We have to get off the street. You want to get us both killed? So many of them get killed off. Oh, look at them in those Iron Man suits.
Huh. Purges.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hold on, I'm just double checking one thing quickly. So yeah, she didn't die yet.
Huh.
Just want to make that clear.
Uh-huh.
And Stark, if you and your Iron Avengers were any slower, you would have had 2 more Hydras to worry about. Any problems? Just the usual one. You know, there's nothing we can do. He's been through more than any of us. Well, your buddy, President Osborn, isn't making it any easier on him either. So in other words, because Steve didn't run for president, Norman Osborn won.
Yeah.
And remember, this is before, and in this version, this is before Norman was known publicly.
Oh.
So that never happened here.
And before the sins got sucked out of him.
Well, yeah. Which, to be fair, I'll be honest. Can I be honest? I like that idea, and I'm so annoyed at people being so shocked that they're still running through with it. It's like they want to see it through to the end before they reverse it.
Yeah, I agree. It's
why do people complain about it? And it's like, guys, accept it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. It's acceptable. It's actually some of those good, interesting changes when he still has his past and his memories, but he's not the same. But he doesn't have the same evil ambition he used to have.
Exactly. That's why I feel when people are complaining about it, it's just
it's actually interesting to see him go through some kind of some willing form of atonement.
Now, has it all been good? No.
Yeah.
But they want to see it through before they reverse it. Which, say what you will, that is one plot point I'm glad they're seeing through to the end.
Yeah, that's actually yep.
Yeah, because why not?
It's actually a character who is somewhat moving forward, growing as a character until it gets.
Because we know it's inevitable. It's inevitable, but it's like, again, when people are saying like, "Oh, why did Zeb Wells get focused on?" Like, maybe because it was the most interesting story to tell. Anyway, but it just burns it just burns up the garbage, not the buildings. Stark's still inventing things to make the world a better place, isn't he, Cap? Nothing's changed, Red Wing. Nothing better. If you believe it is, you're believing a lie. Hi, Steve. Good to see you again. Steve? Steve? It's not you, Jan. It's him. And you tried, honey. That's all anyone can ask. Thanks, Hank. Like, I'll take care of this. Jan was trying to be nice, Cap. The Iron Avengers keep Hydra from taking over New York. Jan was just, she's not Jan, Wyatt. You know that and that. Does Stark really think he can change what happened to the Avengers? That should mean something, Red Wing. In other words, these aren't the actual Avengers. These are androids.
Yeah. Basically like, okay, I'm trying to think of something, some good comparative, not as humane or trying, or something in the between, like something like Metal Man.
Exactly.
Personality-wise.
So, and that should mean something, Red Wing. Is that why you ripped off what ripped you and what you ripped off of the Hydra? Is that what's buying you? It just looks like the Punisher's old insignia. It's not. It's a skull. It's a red skull. like one that on a lonesome road doth walk in fear and dread, and if once turned round walks on, and turns no more his head, because he knows a frightful fiend does close by and behind him tread. The rim of the ancient mariner, Samuel Taylor and Coleridge. So this is where we get some of the artwork with some other additional stuff. Watcher, Uatu, X51. Sorry, I'm confused. I've met Spider-Man before. He had this tendency of making jokes in the most terrible of circumstances. I gotta say, I do like how they have the sketchbooks actually be important. But this is also why this is why, again, I feel we have to read through all of this. I know, it's wordy. Well, I guess that's on. And so the idea of where he just quit and let the world go on without him, well, I guess that's acceptable. You show great haste in your judgment, X51. That is why you should not judge on the little you have seen. There is much to be revealed of the life of Spider-Man. You still have not. Okay. Perhaps I am being unfair in my quick conclusion. My father warned me of this and said it was one of my most human flaws, which I believe really was a compliment, by the way. But I'm forgetting what I wanted to ask you. What about Captain America? If there were ever a man who embodied greatness and hope and the idea of perseverance in the face of impossible odds, it was Cap. How and what I've seen today be true? And the way his fellow heroes speak about him. He's a legend, but they spoke as if he were a liability. X51, the future cannot always be watched from the standpoint of the past. What you see now cannot be limited to only what you have understood. The past can only give a context to which to explain part of the present. And the future is never what you expect. But how could Cap become this? How could a man change so much? Men are not stone, X51, nor are they steel. They are dirt and clay, molded by the hands of experience. Consider his context, X51. Has it changed in the last 20 years? Look up on America and tell me what you see. President Osborn's America. I see people in a state of panic. I see great hunger and looting and killing for food, and finally peace. Why are everyone going and was everyone going hungry, Uatu? You are the one with eyes, X51. You tell me, what of the country's leadership? I don't understand. Congress is empty. The White House is boarded up. Washington, D.C. is a shanty town, and yet industry continues. Osborne Industry in particular, they seem to control everything. So at last, Norman has become the Goblin King. What does that mean, Uatu? Norman Osborn has been both a leader of men and the predator which feeds upon them, X51. While he indeed was a man of wealth and industry, it masked his need for power. And a mask he wore as well as a supervillain known as the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin? I thought he was dead. Perhaps, X51. Perhaps. What else do you see? I see empty granaries and many people standing in line for food, in line at Osborne Industry. And after they are fed, they go to work in homes and in offices owned by Osborne and Osborne. But that's impossible. This is the red, white, and blue and green, X51. It was the land of plenty, the land of riches. Oh, just a sec. Ah, crap. I did not want that. Tell me that didn't exit anything else. No, it did not. I just want to make sure it didn't. The need for comfort, the acceptance of complacency. But that's not fair. It is a lousy fare, X51. The game played since childhood is king of the mountain. One wins, everyone else loses. Democracy was always America's weapon of suicide. My father used to say that America was like a giant tree that couldn't grow much larger without a better inspection of its roots. He said the tree of liberty was the symbol of freedom, and people were more likely to cut off the limb. They were, again, here's the thing. Again, just trying to give all this summary about everything that happened to fill in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
But you can definitely see, like I said, all this is important stuff.
Yeah, is it important enough that it sets up something that happens later, or is it just supplementary stuff that is just bridging stuff here and there? You don't need to know about it, but it's helps explain something in the background. But when it comes to the main story, it might as well be something in the director's cut.
Yeah, exactly. But again, this is why, again, I really like Jim Krueger, and I'm hoping to get him on my show eventually. And I don't blame him for this. My blaming is just how all of this is just like, blah, yada, yada, yada. Again, it's interesting stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Maybe it could have been told in less words or something, or maybe this is something I think that the editor probably should have stepped in and said, okay, compress this.
Yeah, exactly. But again, trying to use it to fill it all out. I can see why this book eventually, when they got to the third part of the trilogy, it was winding down and they weren't given the double-sized issues. But I could also see why this was a big hit initially.
Oh,
because people want to know what led to this. I think here's the other thing. With Kingdom Come, all you had to focus on was Superman. And Wonder Woman and the other. But you didn't have to go into all the detail. This is what happened. We went into all the details of every other character design that Alex Ross came up with. And we saw a lot of them.
Oh.
But that's what this is. We're seeing all of that detail of what led us here when it wasn't fully needed. But yeah, we find out the original Human Torch ceased to operate. Nick Fury is the Furies are a bunch of the life model decoys. But where's the new one? We don't know yet. Sharon Carter. She was part of the alien Hydra now, along with She-Hulk. Cap gave Black Panther a cosmic cube after the death of the Red Skull. T'Challa was the only one Cap could trust not to take advantage of it. But how could the Red Skull be dead? I thought he was still alive. What about the mask that was taken off of Hydra? Calm yourself. The past is like the present to a watcher. Both exist together. Red Skull may indeed be dead, but death has been cheated before. Falcon. I know he's part of Hydra. I saw that before. My question is, Uatu, is why would someone join? Red Ring warned Cap that he could resist it. Why would anyone accept it? Perhaps the truth of the matter is that Sam Wilson and even Sean Carter saw what Steve Rogers is just beginning to see. What's that? Twilight's last gleaming, X-51. What? An end. An end to it all. By the way, this is Reed Richards in the Doom armor.
Oh.
And look, Singh has a bunch of kids.
Good for him.
Uatu. Yes, I think we're going to just get up to this issue. Well, you know what I mean? Because again, this is going to take us a while.
Yeah, we're okay. Did you say this was 12 issues?
12 issues plus a 0 issue, a half issue, and an epilogue and the sketchbook.
12 plus divided by.
Yeah. No, again, I'm just winging this. We're only up to issue 2.
Okay, let's see if there's an interesting cliffhanger at the end of it.
Yep. Uatu. Yes, X-51. I've done everything you asked. I told you everything I've seen, but it's too terrible. You can't just sit here on the moon while my friends are in trouble. I should be down there. I was an Avenger once. How could they be dead and I'll be dead? And when did everyone find out Spider-Man was Peter Parker? What about Captain America? And the way Tony Stark was talking about him, a Watcher never involves himself in the affair of mankind. Not physically or emotionally. But I could help. You could return me to Earth. I could tell you what I see from down there. No, you cannot. On Earth, you are far too close to those you've been programmed to care for. Sympathy will blind you to your duties as a Watcher, X-51. Now delete these concerns from your system and tell me what you see. Again! I'm so used to Uatu being the most empathetic of the Watchers, not just being just like one of them.
Did something else happen to him also along with everyone else?
I think this is them trying to portray him as how they're just having him be no different than the other Watchers. Trust me, turns out he has his own skeletons in the closet.
Jaha.
So yeah, we get a bit of a summary about the four and everything.
Uh-huh.
Now this I can skip through a bit.
Okay.
Yep, we also have Franklin. Valeria does not exist. She was still dead by this, miscarried by this point. This was before they did the whole, it turns out Franklin sent her into the future.
Yeah.
This was before that. I don't understand why your equipment couldn't record what happened over the past 20 years, Uatu. It requires a sentient organism, X-51, for its operation. It requires only what I see, and it has been a long time since I have seen anything. Now tell me, Watcher, what is it you observe? The Inhumans again. They're continuing the search for Black Bolt's son, or something else. Remember, Karnak, no complaining. We are guests. And indeed, if that is how we are welcome. Grim was never the most accommodating of hosts. You were right to elicit and Master's help, Adam. Her name is now Grim, just as I am no longer called Adam. Oh, that's Adam Warlock.
Huh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's supposed to be her, and that's supposed to be her. From Crusade.
Uh-huh.
That was his good side, the feminine side. I hope her power will be enough. What in Sandhill's name in the hill is going around here? Either it's old home week or my humble abode just become Grand Central Station. We demand hello, Ben. Alicia, baby, you better add another half dozen plates to the table and kill the fatted calf while you're at it. We got guests. I can't believe it. The ding-dong Inhumans right on my doorstep. So what brings you to Earth, let alone Yancey Street? The royal wedding, of course. Yeah, who's getting hitched? Luna and our son. I want to see him die again. And that's wonderful. If there's anything we can do to help, Ben and I be, yeah, I'm a bona fide big believer in tying the proverbial knot. Best thing that ever happened to me. There's nothing better for a family than a wedding, Medusa. It makes all the bad worthwhile. You can tell us all about it over dinner. And I've never even met the prince. And here I am, promising myself for the rest of my life. Dad, excuse me. Quiet, Buzz. You too, Chuck. Oh, well, all right. What is it? Well, I don't know. I ain't even sure I can ask something like that. What did I tell you two about whispering at the table? What did they want? Well, that is, sheesh, my boys, the brothers Grimm, wanted horsey rides on Gorgon. Ben, what I do now? Medusa asked a question. I gave her an answer. Enough said. We'll talk about it later. Hulk, would you be a dear and bring out the salad? The Hulk serves you dinner? That's not the Hulk. Nothing gets past you, Craney. Hey, Grady, Alicia used her dad's old puppet master clay to create a testimony to all them do-gooders back in the good old days. Cat makes a great apple pie. Amazing. Okay, I do like that Alicia doing that. Using her father's clay to make sentient golems. That's strange, especially that they affect Alicia's. What?
I need to do some catch-ups with some Marvel characters I have not read up on.
Right.
Or reread some stuff.
But yeah, what has happened to the people of Earth, Grim? Since when did everyone have powers? No one really knows what changed everybody. One day, people just started flying to work instead of taking the 6 train. I guess Stretch would have, but I haven't seen him in years. Oh no, and we're too late. I know something like this was going to happen, but do you ever listen to me? Let me try and reason with Namor. Oh, Namor, you're not helping Atlantis. It's insane. It's a democracy weekend. What man won't vote his appetite, Rogers? What man won't choose to have food on the table for his or her children? We can talk about this, Namor. I agree with you. You should have a voice in this meeting. Your people, and you trust your people too much, Rogers. None of us knew what was happening until it was too late. After you defeat Doom and Galdar many times, you start fighting on automatic pilot. I was just hoping to get some good jokes in. And help me get the delegates out, Susan. How Rusty, and hey, Rusty, how's the sagging? And don't trust him, and Cap, he threw in with Doom. He doesn't deserve your sympathy. No, Torch, don't what? Save the world? You can't take all the blow and the bows, Cap. You should have listened to him, the Roger Storm. Johnny, the stupid hothead. I love that kid. Even today, I can't forget the noise that he made. We should have known Johnny's death would push Franklin over the edge. Growing up the way he did, being the mascot of adventure after adventure, death wasn't really a part of the game until that moment. You killed Uncle Johnny! I want you to burn, and I never want it to stop. You hear me? It's never going to stop. No, Franklin, don't. No. Until his dying days now, half of Namor's body will forever burn. Thanks to Franklin. Oh no, not Johnny. I never saw Namor again. We figured that would be it. Doom lost his dance ticket into world supremacy. The world was safe again. But we were wrong. You murdering! What did you do to Namor? I told him the truth. I'm going to kill you for this. No, you will not. I know what caused the mutations, Richard. I have a cure. What are you talking about? The vibranium overload caused the... What makes you think I want to live in a world without my brother, you monster? Sue, wait. It might be a trap. But Susie didn't wait. I think Doom saw something in her in that moment. Something he had never seen in her before. And he ran. And Susie ran after him. Turned out she didn't get a chance to live in a world without Johnny anyhow. So that was it. The end of the Fantastic Four. For real. And so down with Alicia. We started a family. I heard that Cap's now working with Wyatt Wingfoot. Small world, huh? But what happened to Reed, Benjamin? A lot of people think that Stretch snapped after Susie's death. I like to think that what he did, what he became, was all to find the cure to the world's mutation. I want to believe that Reed figured out the only way to be free to move around Doom's castle in Latveria without setting off all of them blam Doom bots or alarms. Susan was to put on Doom's armor and move in. I don't think he's feeling like much of a hero anymore. I told you it wasn't going to work, Susan. The beacons caused the reaction. The reaction led to the mutation. The vibranium was no doubt the catalyst. What triggered the meltdown? Why wasn't Ben enough? Why couldn't I be satisfied condemning one man to live life as a monster? Susan, why did I have to damn the rest of the world as well? Who's there? Reed? It's Tony. You're researching the mutation. Any conclusions? If I knew what triggered the overload, Tony, I think I could isolate what it was about and what it was about the vibranium that attacks cells on the anatomical level. Reed, you'll invent something that saves the world. You always do. The mutations aren't your fault. Anything could have caused the overload. Do you ever wonder about our ideas, Reed? How do we think of ways to power an entire world using vibranium anyhow? How can we possibly come up with a system to reverse evolution? Where did these things come from? Our dreams, I suppose. I've been having a dream, Reed. The same nightmare every night. In it, there's a man and the universe is inside him. Earth is there, inside too, but it's covered in silver. Reed, if I could isolate the instability, I could. Reed? Oh, I'm sorry, Tony. You said something about sleeping? No, I'm not sleeping any better. Thanks for asking. It's been a long time since I dreamed of anything other than the way things were. Maybe we're wrong about all this for good or bad. What's done is done. Maybe we should quit trying to change things and accept that our time, humanity's days is over. You and I may be fighting for something no one cares about anymore. Maybe mutants are older, and there are. And the rest of us have become relics. Look at this, and look at this. Look at this, Red Ring. Shield's computer have found more sightings of the Red Skull insignia we found in New York. The greatest concentrations in L.A. Are you sure about and this is worth it, Cap? All this spy stuff is a joke now. How do you know it's not a bunch of kids playing with neo-Nazi symbolism? These aren't kids, Wyatt. It's far older than any of us. Like I even understand what that means. Well, California is a long way. I don't think the helicopter's got it in her to get us there. Don't worry, Red Wing. Nick Fury left me the keys to his car. Come one, come all. Just stab him or shoot him or try to dismember. Shock him, drown him, turn on the blender. Forget your compassion and don't shed a tear. Raise your applause for the man without fear. How many people do you think are out there? I don't know. Maybe 3,000? Thought so. Now, this Daredevil, we will not find out his origin until Marvel's X.
Uh-huh.
But it's always meant to be this big question mark.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Daredevil! Yeah, he does all this stuff and nothing can kill him. That's his ability.
Like Aatami Korpi.
Mm-hmm. But then all of a sudden now people come in and more like Immortal Man. You're no longer free to make your own decision. Your lives are no longer your own. You now belong to the skull. Well, maybe I can get a few more in if I speed through it because it's going by faster now.
Okay, let's see some more interesting cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Vendix.
Yep, this is where we get all about everything was doom and everything. Again, all of this is about what happened in the 20 years that led to this. And do you have any theories?
So they said that the
Vibranium.
mutant gene started giving people powers, and that's
we heard something about an overloading of the vibranium could have triggered it all. It's good to see Alex Ross's artwork for these designs, isn't it?
Well, yes, they have personality. And it's not sure about it's not exactly the same thing as hearing the pictures, like with what George Perez did. But
right.
You can some of them tell that you could see or think that they could might as well be like photographs that are actually showing a moment instead of trying to be something like recreations that someone drew up.
But now we're trying to get more and more into the Kingdom Come-ness. But again, here's the other thing is Kingdom Come was a Superman story first and foremost. This is a Marvel Universe story. Big difference.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah. So far, if the Machine Man has been done, is the Watcher. So he's the more just the.
He's having a watch through it all.
Yeah, he's the would say the protagonist or the main point of view character or the all-seeing narrator, just going through it.
Yep. But yeah, we get a bit more asking the question about what's going on. With that, what do you think of John Paul Leon? Rest in peace. His artwork.
It looks like I don't know where I seen it before. Also,
he did the special book for Batman Catwoman that was a tribute to him. He did the follow up to Secret Identity, Creature of the Night. Does that ring any bells?
Okay, yeah, that I know.
Creature of the Night, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's from.
Yep. I see stone spires under the sea. Those people, their skin is blue. They're drowning. Calm yourself, X51. They are now drowning. I believe you're observing Atlantis and its inhabitants. But if they can breathe underwater, why are they screaming? The answer will reveal itself. Watch. A ship. I see the icebreaker or an oracle. The explosives its crew set in the ice brought destruction to those who live beneath the waves. This is the past you see. The year is 1920. So we get some more stuff about Namor's origin. Again, each of these open up with the origins and then catch up to the present days.
Okay.
Of course, we already know now from the last issue what happened. But again, all of this is trying to both give the past, but then recontextualize it in many ways. This knowledge, this omniscience is a great gift, X51. Your passions are your destiny's delusion. I suppose the loss of personal outrage is the price I must pay for all you've shown me. It is no loss, X51. It is freedom. Now speak to me of what transpires this day. Yes, Uatu. Captain America and Red Wing, in their search for more evidence to substantiate Cap's claim that the Red Skull's return, have reached California. Steve, I'm sorry. I didn't believe you. You're right. I thought I could kill him. I really did. This is my fault, Wyatt. I should have known better. Look at that! They're gearing up for some sort of mass movement, Steve. The question is, where? Not only do they have weapons, they're storing enough rations to last for months. Hope they like fish. Look at the way they move. It's not natural. Perhaps they're tired, or I know that guy. Hey, who was he? His name was Jack, Texas Jack. But the man I knew would never be a part of this. Why didn't he say anything? Call us, shoot us. Unless he's been controlled by Hydra. If he were Hydra, he'd already be neck deep in tentacles. This is something else. What is the source of control? And what if the source of control is singular, not multiple? Not multiple. That would explain Jack's response. Why does it always have to be about possession? It's not. It's about freedom. Who's that? Where's she going? If there's a grand plan at work here, Wyatt, I don't think this is a part of it. They're all following. This is getting stranger by the minute. There isn't a cloud in the sky. Fish. What could possibly make it rain? Fish. It's not raining, Wyatt. It's Namor. You must stop this, whoever you are. The sea is the skulls. To do with that he will. Foolish cow. I am the sea. It's him, Uatu. He's so angry. He seems more insane than ever. Insanity is often born of rage, X-51. As is despair. I'm seeing New York now, aren't I? Hey, this is the apartment of the guy that used to be Spider-Man. You just had to bring it along, didn't you, May? Not again, Dad. I didn't come here for you to put me down. I thought you'd like a visit. I know how much you miss Mom. I'm Charity. I'm Charity? Is that what you think, lady? Or is this Venom's good deed for the day? Mayday has Venom on her.
Huh.
Or just, yeah. Anyway, visit an old man and help him remember that his entire family is either dead or sleeping with the enemy. I'm your daughter. I'm all you have left. I didn't choose to become Venom. It chose me, don't you remember? But I'm in control of it, Dad. Why can't you see that? I can't even talk to you anymore. You put this wall between us. If you want to have anything in your life at all, you're going to have to remember how to climb it. God, I don't even feel like I'm part of the world anymore. I like that design.
Yeah. It's a...
Now, okay, do you want me to spell it out what the the viewpoint of Alex Ross had about Peter? Gwen Stacy was his true love. MJ was the rebound. It always was the rebound. If Peter ever had his desire for the perfect world, it would always be Gwen, never, and a son, not marry MJ and May. That won't be brought about until the next book, but I want to get out of the way. This is something that what he sees. So yeah, we now see Medusa and the others meet up with Reed. Like, Reed, Ben told us what happened to Sue and Johnny. I'm so sorry. Surely you can't blame yourself for their deaths. That's nice of you to say, Medusa, but I don't blame myself for what happened to the Fantastic Four. I blame myself for what happened to everyone else. I don't understand. What are you talking about? I try to empower the entire world, Medusa. How's that for hubris? I thought if I solved the energy crisis, if I took the prize that was the source of all animosity between nations away from them, I might unify the world. I might make all men and all nations equal. But isn't that the way of every apprentice, Medusa, to believe himself a master? I don't understand, Reed. You speak of a great and wise goal. Each of the major world powers agreed with you. They uniformly accepted my proposal and credited to my account the funding I required. I constructed a network of receiving stations around the planet to facilitate the distribution of receiving stations for what? Sound waves, of course. I hope to convert certain minerals into sound waves, which could then be reconverted into enough energy to satisfy the need and whims of the world. What happened? I don't know. I really don't. The beacon exploded and the pole of the populace mutated. But how could one explosion change everything? The receiving station were already in operation. The fallout of the explosion was transmitted throughout my network in minutes. Oh, I could tell you what went wrong. Given time, what was the mineral used for the conversion? A mercurial metal first discovered in Wakanda. It's called vibranium. Did you hear that, Karnak? Of course I did. We all did. What did he say, Medusa? What's going on? What is going on here? Should I be aware of something you have of what has occurred? The king obviously desires you to take Richard into our confidence, Medusa. What are you waiting for? Because of what we did and why and for whom we came back. Don't you see what and that will make us in his eyes? I think you better explain yourself, Medusa. You must understand, Reed. We never planned on returning. Our nation was gone. Our people are dispersed throughout the world. We weren't needed here. We left to find a new life. And as we made our way through space, we found something that wouldn't allow us to continue. Medusa, there's an anomaly on the charts. It's not not on the chart. What are you telling me, Karnak? I'm telling you that whatever was once here has ceased to be here. It's been destroyed from within. Gorgon, Karnak, and Suda, I want a closer look. Our analysis revealed that the planet had exploded due to some instability at its core. I'd like a sample for the substance for study. It should be easy to break off a piece of the asteroid. Medusa, look at shiny rocks. They not just... Karnak, stop! They're people. Can't you see that? They're still alive. And not that we could save them. Couldn't save them. You left them there. But that's inhuman. We needed space aboard our ship to reassemble our nation. And read, the same thing may happen to Earth. Continue. The people we found were not native to the planet which had been destroyed. They were from here. How then could they still be alive? We think they were the Eternals, who we knew had left years ago. Wait a minute. We didn't know their origins, but the genetic codes were similar enough to our own. We also learned the nature of the substance itself. It's like a cancer, Reed. It is both a form of terrible power and a siphon. It was found embedded throughout what little remains of the planet's core. We Inhumans, of course, have a different name for it. But it's what you call vibranium. Vibranium, Watcher. Is it true? Is Earth's doom? All are its people struggles for nothing? X51. All struggle for life is for nothing. There is one death and birth. Surely you've seen this by now. Everything below the waves is under my care. Then what difference does it make whether Namor defeats this being or is defeated himself? What difference does it make whether Captain America defeats the Red Skull or not? Right? When you take from the sea, you take from me. Your politics, your plans, your lives are inconsequential to me. It makes no difference at all, X51. It pleases me that you have seen the truth at last. Is this what I've been brought here to witness or watch to? Am I to see the end? What's going on, Redwig? Why is Namor stopping? I don't know. The crowd's parting. Maybe Namor's going to take on the Skull. I don't know. No. Walkie's never been Namor style. Can you see anything else? He's bowing before someone. I'm sure it's the Skull, Steve. I just can't make out what the Skull looks like. If Namor's bowing before anyone, it's definitely some sort of mind control. He doesn't do that. Wait, Wyatt. The crowd is moving. I think I can make out. No. I can't believe this. It's a kid. The Red Skull is nothing more than a kid.
It's Franklin?
No, let me tell you. No, it's not. It's supposed to be a new character. Yeah, not Franklin.
Because thinking back to that, it's a young, somewhat grown up since those days, blonde, somewhat similar. That would probably be the first thing to come to mind in having followed the story at least so far.
Oh, by the way, one other thing, Alex Ross, before seeing Hugh Jackman Wolverine, hated the character. Hated him. So why? How does he draw him? He draws him as fat. Also, even some of the other characters like Domino and all that, look at her. They don't. He didn't care for them, so he just drew them in a way he preferred. Yep. So we see all this stuff about the food and everything, but how was that?
It's now
that we're getting moving.
Yeah, it's interesting enough. Kind of something of a slow burn. Since it's wordy and so wordy, it's gonna feel like it's going slow. But it's kind of you can feel that it's slow, but it's kind of slowly also kind of trying to escalate itself in trying to become more interesting.
Agreed. But yeah, you want to just pause here, end here?
Considering that it's I think this is a good enough cliffhanger.
Yeah, this is a better cliffhanger to end on.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this mystery that everyone has powers? And oh, look, his throne is MODOK. I love that. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think about the questions being raised and everything?
Well, they actually make who was that said that you need to that author that said they make the readers hungrier for more.
True. I don't remember who said that though. By the way, so yeah, that was Sunspot we saw earlier.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, also Texas Jack was Jack Molden. No idea who that guy is.
Oh.
But yeah, the wizard and everything. But yeah, Sandman, all these are working for the Skull.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the Skull taking the Punisher's logo?
Well, it's another form of maybe of the Nazis appropriating someone else's symbol for themselves. Because
Exactly.
swastika used to be the Hindu symbol of peace.
Yeah, that's why when everyone sees it now, people still think, even when people are trying to, pull it back.
Yeah, so taking Punisher's skull and appropriating it is a
very much
makes sense in universe. Clearly it doesn't stick very well in outside.
Exactly, but yeah. So next time I have you on. Well, unless I get those scans for Batman, Deadpool, next time we'll go over the next batch of this.
Yeah.
Any final other final words? You hope it gets better?
No, yeah. Hopefully it gets better.
I mean, let me put it this way: it's nowhere near. It's no matter what, it's nowhere near close to Kingdom Come. But we all knew that.
Right? You can say recognize some certain similarities in it's 20 years into the future. Things have changed. Everyone is different,
either older or dead or different.
And the last 20 years have had their impact on them.
Yep, and something bigger is coming. But yeah, until then, we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
And may your hopp jotenkin.